you get a lot of weird looks from guides and other clients going up the hill. We don't know, nobody's ever climbed it before, have had near-death experiences. And then lockdown happened. You're not going to lose anything, ever. You're only ever going to gain. My name's Harry. I'm an activity instructor at Calshot Activity Centre. When I'm not working at Calshot, I love rock climbing and anything to do with the mountains and the outdoors. So, born in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, the Mourne Mountains were my kind of local playground. My mum used to take us up there any kind of opportunity we had. So I was introduced to it from a very young age to just going out and basic hill walking at that stage. And then when I was 10, she got us a secondment with her work to go and work in Luxembourg. So me and my sister, we moved out there. And then the Alps were only 4 hours on the train away. It would definitely have played into where my love of mountains came from. Realising that you can go to these weird and wonderful, beautiful places for days on end and then come back and have either had a great time or have had near-death experiences. And still have had a great time, because you'll learn something from it. My mum's secondment finished in Luxembourg, so we moved back to the UK. My career goals at that point were to become a sound engineer. Got accepted into Central School of Speech and Drama to do a theatre sound degree. Meanwhile, it started becoming apparent that I needed my driving licence, so my cheat way of doing that was to join the army, who would pay for my time to do it. Somebody in the reserves actually introduced me to the Army Mountaineering Association, which I thought was great because you could do all of these weird, wonderful and quite extravagant trips for a fraction of the cost. But also it just gave me more time to go and play in the outdoors. I then said, well, do you need people to instruct on this? Do you need people to be somewhat qualified to take people out? To which the answer was a resounding, yes, absolutely, please do. The advantage of being an instructor was that we kind of got first dibs on all of these wonderful expeditions. So we've done 2 trips to Everest Base Camp, one of which was to scout out a new route or a new possible route up the West Ridge. But then we also went to Greenland. So pretty much the entire centre of Greenland, give or take, is unclimbed peaks because it just takes so long to get there. So we would spend a week trudging in one direction to then point at a massive mountain somewhere off in the distance. What's that called? We don't know, nobody's ever climbed it before. All right, okay, let's see if we can get some satellite imagery and try and see if it goes. So I haven't done any first ascents, but I've been part of expeditions where we've sent people off and they have done first ascents of some peaks in Greenland. So previous to lockdown, I had a semi-well-established career in theatre as an automation technician. And trying to get out into the hills and do the rock climbing as much as I could was proving to be that kind of work-life balance. So started looking a little bit into, well, how would I become a freelance instructor on weekends? And then lockdown happened and theatre completely shut down. I said, okay, well, let's just go and do little local trips, little local hikes, and just see if doing that more means that then I'm more willing to go back to work. And that was not the case. What ended up happening was I would go out on these little mini adventures and just want to do bigger and better adventures for longer. And then I said, right, well, it's now crunch time. It's that classic saying of commit now and sort the details out later. So I handed in my resignation to my theatre job and started looking for jobs as an outdoor instructor and pursuing the qualifications that I'd need to do that. Since starting at Calshot, I have received my rock climbing instructor's qualification. I had done the training for it in lockdown and then just needed to consolidate and do the actual assessment. I'm being put forward for my paddle sports instructor. I've had my powerboat level 2 qualification, but the rock climbing was definitely the big selling point to me. Having the ability to climb here essentially whenever I want with some of the best teachers and coaches that I've ever met. And that's second to none. Wouldn't change it for the world. I think and it is still an ongoing goal of mine, but climbing all of the 4,000 metre peaks in the Alps solo. So I've achieved some of the easier ones to manage. Mont Blanc was the first. So climbing Mont Blanc solo, you get a lot of weird looks from guides and other clients going up the hill. But that's kind of an ongoing goal of mine, is to climb all 4,000 metre peaks of the Alps solo. The advice I would give to someone who is thinking about making a drastic change in either their career or in life in general is, if you think about it and you want to do it, just do it. Work out the logistics and the details later. Worst case scenario, you're back where you started. You're not going to lose anything ever. You're only ever going to gain. Having moved to Calshot and having met a load of new friends, we've got a load of new adventures in the works, and I am very excited to see what they hold, see what new things I can learn or do.